Hello, welcome back. And for Christy, who I haven't seen in person in 2 years. Yeah, too long. Okay, so we are gonna do shoulder stuff today. So you've already done shoulder internal rotation. You did this last week. Yep. You've done this with me at some point in time virtually. But what we're gonna do is work on shoulder external rotation. So this guy. We're going to work on expanding that. We're going to work on beating it up, and we're going to work on exploring it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It should be pretty crampy. Usually, like the most common ones are like right here when you do the back of the shoulder stuff. I've had people cramp in their opposite side hip. Like that's how intense the whole thing can be. So just being aware that, as always, cramps are all right. So, congratulations on the new song release, by the way.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to start in a kneeling position. You can be sitting on your heels, or you can be tuck the toes underneath, but a kind of a collapsed kneeling position. So planting those hands into the knees, pushing down. We're going to start with our neck. So slowly tilting chin to chest. Scrape that left collarbone. Tilt back. Look for that left armpit. Up over the top to the right armpit. Tilt forward, find that collarbone and scrape to center. In reverse, scrape to the right. Tilt back, find that right armpit all the way up over the top. Around and to center. We're gonna go one more time. Keep that pressure from hands to knees, knees to hands. Keep those abs nice and tight. Chin to chest. Scrape that collarbone. Tilting back, up over the top, around to the front, back to center, and reverse, all the way up. Try to make that circle a little bit bigger every time. Good. So for spine, what I'm gonna have you do is I want you to sit on your heels, like let the toes kind of collapse. So you're a little closer to the ground. We're gonna grab all the way through and try to grab your shoulder blades. So from here, I want you to flex all the way down, try to point your elbows between your knees, okay? From there, peel from the waistband all the way up and point the elbows at the ceiling. So those are our two extremes of flexion and extension. One by one, we're gonna pull ourselves back down, squeeze those abs really nice and tight, and then pull up one more time, all the way up to the top, and all the way back down. Ross, you can also stand if kneeling's kind of feeling uncomfortable. That's all right. So then go here or just stand, either way. As long as like I want you to be comfortable, but to be able to create that tension and also feel your butt going back and forth. All right, so now let's find that flex spine. So all the way down, point the elbows between your knees or at the mat. Scrape those elbows to point just outside of your left knee. From there, tilt back, point all the way up to the ceiling. Scrape those elbows across the sky to the right, point them just outside of the right knee, and then bring it to center. Reverse, point right outside the right knee, pull all the way up to the ceiling, drive across, point it down just outside of left knee, back to center. One more time, outside of left knee, peel it back. As always, we're going for pain-free range of motion only, so it's your biggest, safest range of motion. And reverse. All the way up and across. One day we will do a class that is 100% spine stuff. Oh, those days are, yeah, a little bit warmer, right? That'll bring the temperature up a little bit. I'm already sweating now. Okay, so before we go on to our full shoulder cars, what I want to do is reintroduce external and internal rotation. So external rotation is coming back here and going back as far as you can before rib cage starts to go. Okay, so abs stay tight, elbows stay right where they are. They're like a weird little pivot point and head stays tall. From there, keep the elbows right where they are. Drop the fists as far down as you can before you feel the shoulder blades creep up towards your ears. And before your elbows kind of flare and do anything fun. All right, so now let's build some tension here. So squeeze your fists. We're in an internally rotated position. Squeeze your abs, drive your toes into the floor, squeeze your butt. Now, slowly, imagine you're pulling up against a really heavy resistance band all the way up to that double flex. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and then all the way back down. All the way down, all the way down. When you get to the bottom, I want you trying to push for a little bit more internal rotation. Good, one more time, all the way up. All the way up, 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 up. Squeeze for a little bit more external rotation. Feel the back of the shoulder stuff. And then pull all the way back down. Feel your lats, feel your chest, feel all of the big muscles and the little muscles responsible for internally rotating. Good. Shake those out. So when you're doing those, you're gonna keep these elbows here. So this is internal. There.
Okay. Got it.
And then so keeping that pivot point.
I can feel a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. There you go. Okay. So before we go on to full shoulders, we're going to do our shoulder blades. So taking those hands out nice and wide, pull the shoulder blades up to our ears. As you pull back, I want you to pull back as far as you can. If you notice, looking down your nose, if you start to see your chest puffing up, you've gone too far. Pull back just a little bit. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just that. Slide them down your ribs. Punch them forward. Spread them as wide as you can. Pull up to your ears. Pull back. Slide it down and drive it forward. One last time. All the way up. All the way back. All the way down. And all the way forward. Beautiful. Okay. So our shoulder cars for the day, we're going to be doing these side lying, which I know is going to be very different from what you guys have probably done. We're going to lay here. We're going to take our opposite side hand and we're going to lay it flat behind us. Okay. If your shoulder doesn't do this, you can always go up to a wall standing. Yeah. No hot coffee poured on anybody. So what I want you to try to do is bring your chest out to face me as much as you can. If this is uncomfortable, all you have to do is put the free hand up and we'll adjust. You okay? Okay. So taking that right hand, our left hand is pinned behind us. We're going to reach across and drag with the palm up across the floor. Okay. From here, you're going bicep to ear. Once you get here, we're internally rotating and dumping the water bottle. Try to reach back for the other hand as far as you can. All the way through until that back of the hand reaches the front pocket. Pinky is forward, thumb is back, and palm is facing the ceiling. So flip your hand all the way over us. Yep. Other way. There you go. And should be right at the front pocket. Now reach back. Try to meet the other arm. If you're feeling any type of way in your neck, we can always throw the block under your head for a pillow. Good. See, not so bad. We're going to do this again. So now build a little bit more tension. Push down through the back arm. If you were doing this standing, because I can't see the virtual participants, if you're doing this standing, all that's going to look like is that you'll go to, let's see, can you see me here? Yes. So you can go to a wall and you could be doing it just like this. All right. Totally, totally fine. So let's finish out that one last rep. Knock over my coffee in the process. All the way around. And then reverse. Oh, crunchy. Very nice. Let's go ahead and switch. You may notice the difference in this. It may be hard to get into this setup on this side. I usually find like a 90-90 position at our hips helps to keep from rotating forward and back. So go ahead and now we're palm is forward as we drive the body across, the arm across our body, all the way up overhead. Open up that palm towards the ceiling and reach back behind you as far as you can. Keep trying to dump that water bottle out the whole way around. And then reverse. Good. Palm is facing head. Slide that knife edge along the floor. Good. Palm is up. Serve that hand up. All the way up like you're playing tennis. Toss the ball up overhead. Internally rotate. Reach all the way back. And then one last time, reaching back. Up and around. All the way through. Woo. Warm? Over. That part is over for now. That probably still won't be the hardest thing we do all day. We're going to come back to our kneeling position to finish out the rest of our upper body cars. If we've got time at the end, we'll do our lower body cars. Pin the elbows to the sides. We're doing 1,000-pound bicep curls. So pulling the pinkies up, trying to imagine you're getting your pinkies to the outsides of your cheeks and thumbs are facing as far forward as you can get them. Good, there you go. That's the end of your elbow rotation. From there, squeezing the biceps, spin. So now the palms are facing forward. Drive down. Feel those triceps working for you. Good. Spin open. Palms are open. Spin up as high as you can. Keep trying to rotate from those elbows. Feel that inside of your biceps start to cramp. Spin over. Drive down. One last time. And up. Spin it open. And down. Good. Last upper body cars, wrists. Same 90-degree position. Keep the sweat in your armpits, right? Don't let, like if you imagine your hot coffee, hot tea is sitting on your forearms. If we start to turn in, if the thumbs are starting to go towards to meet each other, if you go too far, you're going to dump that coffee on yourself. Nobody wants a McDonald's today, okay? Pulling the pinkies towards each other. Pull into wrist extension. Tilt thumb side. All the way up. That's your coffee spot. So if you've gone here and the thumbs are now pointing at each other, you've dumped that coffee. So we should be just a small tilt thumb side and then pull up. None of this. No creepy beckoning. Barbie hands. This is your cue. Barbie hands. Tilt pinky side. Good. Wrist extension. Thumb side. And up. That came out of a virtual session from 2 years ago. What? Barbie hands. Oh, yeah. Okay, so our setup, we are going to be planting our elbow. So we're going to start with our right arm. Elbow is going to be on one block. Palm is going to be on the other. I'll get you guys all set up and I will demonstrate for the people at home. So right arm here, lay on your stomach. Okay. Elbow. Yep, elbow is here. Palm is here. Plant your chest on the floor. Slide this guy up a little bit. Okay. Okay, do you feel a stretch there? Yeah. In front of the shoulder? I do. Fantastic. So let me slide you up here just a little bit more. What do you think?
No.
No pinch, no stretch?
No.
Okay, so. Just do that. There we go. And then we'll do, so we're going to go to level 3. You also have a lot of external rotation, which I remember from doing that shoulder assessment.
I feel a little bit better now.
Okay, good. So where are we at? It's Christy Lane. Okay.
Stretch, I guess.
Did you already scratch your Apple Watch? Any stretch? Through the front of the shoulder?
Just very light. Yep, there we go.
You can always temper it by opening up the chest towards here. Sorry if I scratch you. Just if it ends up being too much.
It does feel a lot at the back of the shoulder.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I don't want back of the shoulder, just front of the shoulder.
Okay.
So it may open up through the second set. So pinchy?
Yeah, this is better. I need to like unclip.
Okay. So I'm going to have to get a little creative with my setup. I'm going to use my block here, which is totally fine. Need to buy more blocks. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing, which is slightly different only from an equipment standpoint, but really from a training standpoint, it's exactly the same. I'm going to be planting my elbow on the box. I'm going to take my hand here and I'm going to choke my way up into shoulder external rotation. Okay. This is an acceptable setup if you're at home and you didn't set up the blocks or boxes or books to create that space. All right. So we want the whole forearm supported by this, by your first block. We're breathing into this stretch. And so for the moment, what I want you to focus on is your breath. You're going to breathe in for 5 seconds. You're going to breathe out for 5 seconds, and you're going to hold for 5 seconds in that exhaled state. All right. So it's a big, deep breath in. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. One last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we're doing with this breath is actually, because this stretch can be so extreme, we're actually teaching your body through this breath that we're not in any danger. So some of that neurological tension can melt away, and then we can start to get into a really nice deep tissue stretch. All right. So from here, your first contraction is pushing the hand into the block or the pole or the ground, whatever you're at. So think about pushing wrist and hand into block. Don't worry about elbow. Elbow should stay where it is. So if we're pushing at 20%, increasing that pressure to 40%, increasing that pressure to 60%, and hold there. Don't go any higher. If you stopped at 40, that's totally fine. Holding there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Everybody still got a stretch here? Cool. Sorry, you're still good?
Yeah.
Cool. So from here, we're going to do that again. And then we're going to do both sides. So our pails, which is pushing down into the block, our rails, which is going to be squeezing backside shoulder stuff, trying to lift wrist. Don't worry so much about hand. I don't want hand to lead. All right. So we're going to start to push. We're going to take this up to our greatest, safest effort. So 20% pushing down through that block. 40%. 60%. 80%. And your greatest, safest effort. Squeeze through all of that stretchy front side shoulder stuff. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull from the back of the shoulder stuff. Try to lift the wrist. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. If you don't have a stretch anymore, let me know. So it's pinching now, like running out of room. Okay. So what I'm going to do though, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'm going to have you come back to this position. So even though we're not getting a huge stretch, I want you to do the same contractions. We shouldn't be running out of room on the backside.
Okay.
You'll still do the pails, still do the rails, just squeeze this stuff. If your hand comes up really far, that's all right, as long as it's not pinchy.
Okay.
Chris, do you still have a stretch?
Yeah.
No pinchies?
It's a little bit.
On the back of the shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's adjust.
I feel like my arm needs to like move down.
Needs to move down, or how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Better?
Yeah. So I need to consciously do this. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, because of the, I mean, one other thing we could do is like,
Well, we always know this is creepy shoulders.
right,
so-
right. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
You got a little bit more support from the
I
block.
really like this.
Beautiful. Ross, still good? Ooh, you're on level 2 now. So one thing I did with Christy that might help for you. Just giving the arm a little bit more support, pulling that shoulder back a little bit, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then how's that?
Yeah, see, that feels better. I don't feel it back here.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Cool.
So what we adjusted was actually, just so people at home, you can see this, what we adjusted was actually to support more of the upper arm from the block and keeping the shoulder blade kind of in a comfortable, like set position back a little bit, just to create a little bit more space for shoulder joint to move and not so much like, I guess the shoulder blade was kind of rocking up and then we were getting a pinch instead of actually opening up that shoulder. So as everybody's been hanging out in this wonderfully supported awfulness that is shoulder external rotation, we're going to go again. I really want you to take this to your greatest, safest effort. If you can push a little bit harder because things feel better this time, I want you to do it. Ready? So we're going to start to push 20% to 40, 40% to 60. Push the toes down through the floor. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs, squeeze your other fist to 80%. To your greatest, safest effort, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rails. Pull from the back of the shoulder. I'm trying in this setup to try to lift that dowel as hard as I can from the back of my shoulder stuff. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. Anybody's hand or wrist lift off of the blocks? Good. So you've got a little bit of a running start, but we're still good, no pinch? Fantastic. Ross?
Good.
Were you able to get wrist off the box?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is go back down to the level 1 position.
Okay.
So level 1 position is just a flat block where your palm and your forearm are even, and you have just a little bit of a running start. That works. Perfect. So we may even see that the first block is a little bit lower than the second block, the one by your hand, is a little bit lower than the one by your elbow, and that's totally fine. What we're going to do now, because I want you to win, so the first one, we were at the end of your end range, right? The amount of movement that you had available was pretty minimal. Now what I want you to try to do, because you have a running start, is actively lift the whole, yes, exactly. So you're going to try to lift the whole wrist from the back of the shoulder stuff off of the block, like so you're arm wrestling somebody. Okay. You're going to pull up as high as you can and squeeze, and you're going to hold for a 1 count. Okay. And then you're going to parachute back down. All right. Everybody got it? So everything else in your body is a statue now. So nothing should be moving but that forearm. Ready? So we're going to take a breath. We're going to radiate tension, and we're going to pull from the back of the shoulder stuff. Ready? Big breath. Trap that air. Radiate that tension and lift. Up and down. Up. Down. 2. Up. Down. 3. Up. Down. 4. Up. Down. 5. Up. Down. 6. Up. Down. 7. Up. Down. 8. Up. Down. 9. Up. And 10. Beautiful. So relax right there. What I want you to do now is you are going to take your chest and you are going to open it up away from that shoulder. Basically the same position we were in when we were laying on our side. So everybody is turning a little bit away. So this stretch should change in that now you should be getting a big pec stretch. Okay. So actually turn towards me, Ross. So if you're at home and you can't find this, what I want you to think about doing is going to a doorway. Forearm and elbow are here, and then you're turning your chest away from that door so that you get a really big pec stretch. Okay, we're hanging out here. Christy, is that an okay position, or do you want me to bring the block up?
Okay.
Are you getting? Better?
Yeah.
Okay. We're looking for chest. Nice big chest stretch. Hashtag coffee and Kinstretch. And coffee, hip hop, and mental health. Okay, so your job in this is to bring your arm back across the blocks. Of course, in your position, nothing will change. You should be at the end of this stretch. Imagine doing like a pec deck, right? You're trying to clap the arms back together. The ground and the blocks are stopping that from happening. Are you feeling anything in the back of the shoulder? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So as we do this, we're bringing those forearms or that forearm back in towards our midline. All right. So what I want you to do is now 20% pushing down through the block with the entirety of your arm, elbow and wrist. Squeeze where you feel that stretch. 20% to 40. So I'm right here, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and your greatest, safest effort, squeezing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're railed. Now pull from the back of the shoulder like this, but then sink deeper into that stretch. So you're pulling from the back of the shoulder, pulling your shoulder blade towards your spine, trying to lift your forearm off the block. You're going to turn your body away to go into an even deeper stretch. 2, 1, relax into that stretch. Everybody find that? Awesome. Oh, it's a thing. Okay. So now square your chest back up with the floor. Come back to a neutral position. So now from here, we've gone to here. Okay, I'm going to bring this around so you can see from the chest side. I've been in this big stretch. I opened up this way to get into a bigger stretch. I'm coming back to a neutral. So your passive range liftoffs this time are going to take the form of the entire forearm lifting off. Okay, so it's elbow, it's wrist, everything is pulling from the back of the shoulder and lifting off the ground. Okay. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, and then go ahead and plant that down. We okay? Okay, just rude. Okay, I'm gonna do this without block this time so everybody can see. So we're gonna do this again, 10 1-second holds. Okay, so big deep breath, push the toes down to the floor, create that tension, pull from the back of the shoulder and lift as high as you can. 1, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, down, up, 5, down, up, 6, down, up, 7, down, up, 8, down, up, 9, down, and up, 10. Very nice. We are going to give that shoulder a break for the moment, and we're going to switch everything to the other side. Say hi to Coach Jermaine. Very, very cold Saturday. You say it's going to be 50 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We're getting everybody set up here for that nice stretch on the other side. We okay?
Yeah.
Set it.
Little.
Okay. You can always flag me down if you need to.
Okay.
Star, we're good.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's probably why.
Was it is through the front of the shoulder?
There we
Good.
go.
Okay. Ross, comfortable?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So we should be getting a nice stretch through the front of our shoulder for the moment. I am going to use a pseudo plate setup so that you guys can see everything I'm doing. So I'm still imitating the same external rotation setup. I've just done it with 2 plates stacked on each other. One is torquing my forearm back a little bit, and then the elbow is supporting. So in this position, we are breathing. We're going back to that 5 in, 5 out, 5 hold breath. Ready? 5 seconds in, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, or excuse me, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna get ready to work. Remember, first time we go only to 60%. So we're starting to push. Forearm or wrist only. Through the front of the shoulder. Pushing down through that first block. 20 to 40. 40 to 60 and hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. If you need to go up to level 2, you absolutely can. If you're still getting a good stretch through the front of the shoulder, then that's where we're hanging out. Christy, everything's all right back there? Good. Star still good? You're just hanging out there? Okay. No pin. Are you getting a little pinchy or no?
No.
Okay.
I just don't think I should go.
Okay. Just feel safe. Good. There we go. Okay. So 20% pushing down to 40. Be careful or cautious of that creepy shoulder sneaking up towards your ears. To 60. To 80. Your greatest, safest effort. Safest is the operative word. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull from the back of the shoulder stuff. Try to lift the wrist off the box. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. Ross, pull your chest towards the floor a little bit more for me. There we go.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's good.
Okay, our last time through on this, we're going all the way to our greatest, safest effort. We're going to be squeezing our everything. So toes in the ground, quads, butt, abs, shoulders, everybody, except for Christy's neck. Actually, try to keep your jaw relaxed as you do this.
Where's the best position for my head? Yes, the floor.
Just smash forehead to floor, yeah. So if you're getting undue like facial tension, neck tension, try to relax your face and your jaw as you do this. It's hard to do while you're tensing everything else, but it's possible. Okay, so we're gonna start to push again, 20% to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80 as we spread the tension through the rest of our body, squeezing quads, squeezing glutes, squeezing abs, squeezing your other fist, but of course not your face. Nice, relax, like you're out for a Sunday stroll. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Squeeze. Back of the shoulder stuff, squeezing as hard as you can. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into that stretch. Whew. That was a big one. Feels better on that one?
You know what?
Which shoulder did we work on?
This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, if you need to, you want a runway on this. You want a space to win. So if you need to bring the first block down one again, that's totally fine. So we are now trying to actively lift the entire forearm, not the elbow, excuse me, just the forearm off the box, block, plates, supporting structure. Ready? We're going to start to lift to 10 1-second hold. So big deep breath, trap that air, radiate that tension, and lift up, down, up 2, down, pulling from the back of the shoulder stuff, up 3, down, up 4, down, up 5, down, up 6, down, up 7, down, up 8, down, up 9, down, and up number 10. And relax. Okay, so now everybody remembers their next job, turning the chest away from that arm, and we're looking for a nice big stretch through your pecs. You can lay the side of your head on the floor. Just try to breathe and relax into what could be a very, very, very large stretch. So I do this sometimes to kind of fight that rotation coming back in. Otherwise, you end up just kind of torquing too far and then using your spine. So you can use your forearm as long as you can relax into the stretch.
Is it better to kind of like bring my knee up more, or is that you want that more?
You want to be at the end of your end range. So if bringing your knee up a little bit higher, go ahead and scooch it up, allows you to be in an even deeper stretch. Fantastic. So you're using your knee the same way as you're using your hand, just using that to create torque.
And do we want to maintain that external rotation here, Patrick?
No, you can be in a nice neutral forearm.
Okay.
I just left it there in my setup because I'm mean. But that is a good point. So what you'll notice, if you left the external rotation, if the blocks weren't even when you did this, you probably will feel the stretch in a slightly different position as if you had the blocks totally flat when you did this, or you're using the wall or some other supporting structure. Big breath. If it's a really extreme stretch, go back to that 5-5-5 breathing. I'm going to come up with a turf print on my face. Okay, we're going to start to push. So as you're squeezing that forearm back into the floor, we're squeezing the chest at 20%, 40, 60, 80. Your greatest, safest effort, squeezing through that chest, trying to bring it back across. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull from the back of the shoulder stuff. Try to get your shoulder blade closer to your spine. Squeeze all of that tissue on the back of the shoulder. 9, 8, 7, 6. Crazy laughs are welcome. 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Let that tension melt away, but stay at the end of that stretch. Whew. That feels like a thing. Okay, so now we back off. We square our chest to the floor. I'm keeping an eye. Yep. So your next job is to lift the entire forearm. That squeeze that you felt on the second contraction of that last set is where I want you to squeeze to do this, okay? Find that back of the shoulder blade stuff, all the things all the way close to your spine. Yep, there you go. So with a big deep breath, trap that air, radiate that tension, and lift the whole arm up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down. 2 more, up, down, up, and down. Okay, so now slide the blocks out and away. both arms are going to be up just like this. This is where things get real burny. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine the two things that we just did. We are going to go forearms, elbows, all the way up behind our head, plant the elbow, look for more external rotation, punch the fist to the ceiling, all the way back, plant elbows, plant wrists. All right, so that sequence is wrists, elbows, up towards the head, plant the elbows, more external rotation, so drive the fists apart, punch the fist towards the ceiling, pull them all the way back, elbows down, wrists down. Everybody got it?
I think so.
Did anybody try it yet? Because my face was obviously smashed into the floor. Okay, that's part of it. That's the first part. Thought followed by action. Anybody need a practice rep before we do this?
Maybe me.
Okay, so let's go forearms up. Good, elbows up. Pull the hands all the way back. So try to get your hands behind your head. Good, now plant the elbows. Try to drive the fists apart. Good, punch the fists up towards the ceiling. Try to maintain that same angle. Pull them all the way back to the start position. Elbows down, forearms down.
Wow.
Beautiful, that looked awesome.
Oh.
That is the proper response after this. Okay, ready? We're gonna do that 5 times. There and back is 1 rep. Okay, big deep breath, trap that air. Radiate that intensity, that intention everywhere. So now fists, raise the fists up, raise the elbows up as high as you can. Pinch the shoulder blades back behind you, double guns. Go fists all the way behind the head, elbows down. Drive the fists apart, more external rotation. Punch fists up to the ceiling, pull the elbows apart, back down to the starting position, elbows down, forearms down. Rep number 1. Big deep breath, wrists up, elbows up, fists behind the head, elbows down, fists apart, fists up, elbows apart, back down to that starting position, elbows down, forearms down. Rep 2. Whew. Forearms up, hands up, elbows up, all the way back, reach for the ceiling, fists behind the head, elbows down, more external rotation, reach for more every time. Try to keep those fists at the same angle as you punch them up. Pull the elbows apart all the way through, elbows down, fists down. Was that rep 3 or 4? Fantastic, I appreciate you guys. Wrists up, elbows up, all the way, fists behind the head, elbows down, fists apart, fists up to the ceiling. Take those elbows as wide as you can get them. Elbows down, fists down. Rep 4. Last one. Fists up, elbows up, all the way to the back of the head. Elbows down, fists apart. Punch the fists up to the ceiling. Bring them apart. Elbows down, arms to the floor. Give yourself a big hug because that was hard. Oh. The appropriate response to that is give me my shoulders back. Curl up in a ball and take your shoulders back. Nice work. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is one really good shoulder car. One side, each side, we're gonna go back to that same starting position that we hit. Okay, so that big pec stretch is probably gonna be a little bit bigger than it was last time, given that you just expanded the amount of space you had available for this. Okay, so it can be in a supported kind of figure 4. We can be in a side lying 90-90, whatever feels better / more challenging. Okay. So starting with that palm at our hip, palm is up. Reach that arm across the floor. Push. If you're touching the floor, I want you to drive that hand into the floor. Keep squeezing the arm across your body as far as you can. Once you get up to around bicep to chin, pull back across your body, bicep to ear, or as close as that you can get for that. Now, internally rotate, palm is facing away from the floor. Try to do that from your armpit. Reach back. Try not to go up. I mean, you're going to go up regardless, but try to reach back as far as you can. Keep internally rotating. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way around. And land at the hip. Pushing back arm into the floor. Reach back. Open the palm up. Try to stay as close to the ground as you can. All the way through, bicep to ear. Back around, drive palm into floor, and relax. Okay, switch sides. Wow. Get into that nice big pec stretch setup again. A half 90. Everybody still doing all right? Fantastic. This is our last thing. So let's make it a really good one. Palm is open, facing forward. Palm is going across our body. Drive that palm or that knife edge hand into the floor. When you get around bicep to chin, start to pull back. All the way up, thumb is up behind your head. Reach back towards the wall behind you. Start to internally rotate. Armpit is going away from you. Palm is going away from you. Stay as close to your midline as you can as you reach back, back, back. Keep internally rotating. Try to get as close to the ground as you can. Good. Now reach back. Squeeze for the ground. Squeeze for that midline. Try to hold it as best you can. All the way through and bicep to ear. All the way through that knife edge on the floor. And relax. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you. I don't know about you, but my shoulder cramped on that one. My opposite side shoulder that was on the ground fully cramped through the shoulder blade. Yeah. We've got about 2 minutes of a little bit of gentle breath work, and then we are going to wrap up. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to go back to that kneeling position that we started in, or at least as close to that as we can get. Basically, we're going to go to a child's pose, right? That's kind of where I want, where you can just kind of let the arms hang and relax. So from here, we're just going to do 5 box breathing breaths. 5 seconds in, 5-second hold, 5 seconds out, 5-second hold, all right? And in this position, because your belly is driving into your thighs, I want you to try to breathe into your back. Try to breathe all the way into your upper back and relax those muscles back there, okay? So big deep breath in. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, in. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, in. 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold.
out. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax.
Oh, take your arms back. If you have to wash your hair, if you're gonna do the retwist on your own, do it sooner rather than later. Because reaching for your head is gonna be tough after this. This is like immediately I go home and shave my head, because otherwise I'm gonna be like, I have to shave my head like this. Awesome job. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you as always. Week 3 of shoulder is next week. We're going to continue to expand and explore. We're going to go through shoulder flexion and shoulder extension. We're still going to start with rotation, but then we're going to use flexion and extension to explore kind of what has opened up for us. Cool. Virtual or in person, I would love to see you, but of course, in person, you get coffee.